And good morning and welcome here to the National Cricket Stadium in Grenada, St. George's, of course. And this is the final day of competition. And we've got our first match on hand where Barbados would be locked in battle against the Leeward Islands. Interesting encounter we would have here. These two teams, I suspect, will play very strong and very hard today. Either one of them can, in fact, get the tournament, win the tournament. And the news is that the Leeward Islands, they've won the toss and they've decided to field. Good morning to Shirley Clark.
Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to the viewers. This should be a very interesting game today. Very competitive game. Looking forward to it.
So here's going to be the first ball of the match. One that didn't have much carry on to it. Ball just outside the off stump. It is quite a clean, lovely day. Of course, in contrast to some of the previous days that we had in the tournament where it was rather cloudy. So, Sargent facing up to Miller. Here's Miller, moves in now to bowl to Sargent, who to this delivery is opening the face of the bat and glides. Gets his first run down to the sweeper position. So he's off the mark. And Barbados on the 15, they're 15 without loss. We just want to let listeners know that today's matches would feature 15 overs. 15 overs rather than the 20 overs. And this is, of course, to get as much cricket as possible. And I thought it was a good move by the West Indies Cricket Board to make the necessary adjustments, surely.
Yeah, definitely a good move. Otherwise, people would just be sitting around doing nothing. So it was a really good idea to get all the teams to play cricket. And the national stadium has very good drainage.
Here once more is Miller to bowl to Boyens, who is coming forward, the ball maybe taking the pad and going out on the offside. Richard from behind the stumps moves across very quickly, picks the ball up. Important match this is for all and sundry. Leeward Islands played good cricket. There he is once more in bowls and wraps him in the pad. There was an appeal like before, and they had the alertness of frame of mind to go through for a single. So the umpire has just confirmed that that's a leg by, first extra of the day, as Barbados has pushed on now to 2 without loss.
Good solid start with both teams. No advantage to either team as yet.
Here once more is Miller. He's going to move into bowl to Shem Sargent. He's there now and bowls, and he's driving outside the off stump. Maybe should have just thought about leaving that, let it go by, but he wasn't quite to the pitch of it. And Richard's collecting behind the stumps.
Yeah, well, that's the second delivery that Sargent went at just outside the off stump fishing. He has to be careful.
Miller once more from the far end. Will move in now and bowls. Sargent is driving up to mid-on. Mid-on is slightly extended, so they get a comfortable single. So he's now gone on to 2, and the total is pushed on to 3 without loss. That's the end of the over. It went very quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, decent over there by Miller. And the Barbados batsman very watchful to start. But looking forward to further in the innings.
So Barbados, who they've also played a very good cricket and fancy their chances of winning the tournament. So we have seen a number of good players coming through, and a fine opportunity, really fine opportunity for these youngsters to push on, not just to feature well in the under 15 tournament, but they want to go on. I think ultimately international cricket at the highest level, will be definitely on the mind. So it's going to be Jaheim Clark who would move in to bowl to Sargent. Second over, he is there now, bowls, driven up to short extra cover, and there is no run.
Well, not a bad looking shot, but doesn't pierce the gap.
So there's a third man. Point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on. As here once more is Clark in, bowls to Sargent. Outside the off stump, had a big swish at that one. The ball kept moving further away after pitching. Should have just let that go. It was a dangerous shot. Keeper collecting behind the stumps. Total remains on 3 without loss, Barbados.
Yeah, Sargent again chasing that ball to the off stump. But good bowling there by Clark.
Yes. Teasing him for the drive, the expansive drive. There's a delivery that is pushed up to mid-off. And they go through for a single. Slightly belated though. I think he might have just waited to see that the ball had beat the bowler on his follow through. And they got one. So total has gone down to 4 without loss and brings Boynes, who's yet to score, into strike. Here once more is Clark. He's going to move in to bowl to the left-handed Boynes. He's there and bowls and delivery right up. Good intention there. Not on the stumps, but Yorker length, that is, outside the off stump. Doesn't make contact, just seeking to come down heavy on it. That's Boynes. And the ball goes into the gloves of Richards.
Not a good delivery there by Clark. That was very, very full Yorker length.
Here once more is Clark bowls, pitched up, driven up to short mid-off. There's a fielder that is there at shortish extra cover. So if it had beaten him, then it would have gone up to mid-off. There may have been a chance for a single. Here again is Clark in to bowl to Boynes, who is wrapped in the pad. There's an appeal for like before, not given out by the umpire, and they go through for a single. Good alert running there by Sargent. They get one. Extras have now gone on to 2, I make it, and the total is pushed on out to 5 without loss. Maybe just pitching outside the leg stump.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, but a very, very, very good over there by Clark. And, how the batsman there just missing that one. Looked close, but thought that ball pitched just outside the leg stump.
5 without loss. It's a good start by the Leeward Islands. Some teams, of course, like to get off to a flying start. Others would like to be just ensuring that they're about an average start and then consolidate and accelerate a little later on. It'll be interesting to see Barbados' frame of mind, these two batsmen. So far, they've been sedate. Yeah.
So far, both bowlers have been bowling ball fairly full.
Yes, that's the idea. Start, stop. So Jones, in fact, from the far end, would move in now to bowl to Boynes, who is driving the ball up to mid-off and would get a single. It's been noticed throughout the tournament that when the ball is driven up to mid-off and mid-on, the batsmen do have ample time to cross for the single because the fielder tends to be just on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Maybe they should be thinking about walking a little quicker. Here's a delivery that is turned up to mid-on, and again they'll get another single. So one more to the total. It's now gone to 7 without loss. I don't know if that's something you've observed, surely, where so many balls have gone to mid-off and mid-on and they've gotten a single.
Fielders are started very deep on the, I just said on the circle, so it makes it easier for the batsman to cross for single. Once the ball is not struck that firmly, it is an easy single.
Yeah. Captains will have to look at that. Here's a delivery that is outside the off stump, looking to tug that through mid wicket. Took the bottom part of the bat, didn't get much power attached to it. Total remains on 8 without loss.
Yeah, Jones here in another good over, looking very good.
Yes, they have been tight so far, the 3 bowlers. Here he is once more, is Jones moving in to bowl to Boynes, who is driving up to mid-on. This time the ball goes very quickly, but still sufficiently deep to get a single.
And a bit of misfield also.
Yes, so that aided the single in the process. One more to Boynes, who's gone to 2. And Barbados on the 15 sent in to bat their 8 without loss. Field changing around to accommodate the right-handed Sergeant, as it's going to be once more Jones from the far end in bright sunny conditions. In now, bowls to Sergeant, who is looking to clip that down the leg side, doesn't make contact. And the keeper, in fact, did the bail come off and hit the batsman in the face? That's what we make it from here. We're not sure. Maybe a replay would help us. But he's gone down in excruciating pain. Now, look at that. That was down the leg side, missed by the keeper. They're scampering the single. The return came and the bails.
Oh yeah, struck him
right in the, maybe in the eye. I hope not. It's not an injury to the eye. We've known of those freak situations. We know, of course, Boucher, who lost vision in one eye because he was struck by a bail. And so we hope that everything is well. He's up really, and I think he's going to be okay.
I think so too. I think he just struck on the head, but not in the eye.
Okay.
So he'll be able to continue.
Right. Yes, I think the physio come out to make sure that he's okay. Vision not impeded, not blurred, because he was not struck in the eye. So that's good news. Really is good news.
Yeah, Barbados will have to get a move on here shortly because there's only 15 overs we're playing today. I know they have been watchful for the first couple of overs, but they'll definitely have to get a move on. I think
he's going to come off. He's going to come off, so which means that he was hit hard. So he's going to go off. And just wondering, I know, I mean...
The concussion?
No, I doubt it. Suppose surely he did hit him more to the... I don't know if it maybe caught him above the eyelid. Don't know. Well, whatever the case is, no harm done in regards to dismissal, but he is retired, hurt. And maybe we'll go back in and ask the doctor to have a look. That's not what Barbados wanted at this time.
No. Here comes young Kimar Dixon, the crease, to replace Boynes.
So Dixon would come, and he would have to sort of get his eyes in a bit. So 9 without loss. Barbados sent into bat, and the news is that Boynes was struck in the face from a bail which was dislodged by a throw from Richards, the keeper, and injured. He is walked off, and Kimar Dixon has come in. We hope the young man is okay.
I think he should be okay now.
So here's the left-handed Dixon facing up now to Jones. All is set, all is ready, as Jones from the far end would begin to move in, leans forward, straightens up his approach, now passes the umpire and bowls outside the off stump. And a little dab, belated by Dixon.
Yeah, just a tentative push outside the off stump, his first delivery.
Well, didn't make contact with that one. And 3 overs gone. It's 9 without loss.
Another good over there by the Leeward Islands. It's limiting the Barbados team to 9 so far. 9 foot loss.
And you've got to remember, though, that it's not 20 overs. It's reduced to 15 today. That's the quota per team. So they would know that they've got to be a bit more aggressive. Only 15 overs to amass a respectable total.
Yeah, they have to get a move on here. Have to.
Clark is going to move in with his second over. He is none for one. Yielded from the first. And he's going to move into bowl to Sargent. Here he is now. And bowls. And Sargent is turning that out on the onside. Oh, it would have been interesting if he had missed that. It was a full toss. Thought he got into the line a little bit late, but just managed to squeeze it out to square leg. Ball going straight to the fielder there. Total remains on 9 loss. Here once more is Clark moving in to bowl to Sargent, who is coming forward, clips the ball through the mid-wicket area. That's going to go all the way for 4. That's a fine shot. He came forward, well, just in fact behind square, and it went quickly down to the boundary for 4. There are acres of space there, and nobody moved. Nobody moved. It was a lovely shot, just maybe about middle and leg stump. And he clipped it nicely through forward square. 4 runs. He's gone to 8. It's 13 without loss.
Yeah, he rolled his wrist on that one nicely. He got it just over square leg, just behind square leg for 4.
Nice
really
shot. Really lovely. Lovely. Kept his shape well. The third man right back on the boundary. There is a backward point. The cover also right on the circle. Extra cover and a mid off. Here once more is Clark. Would move in now to bowl to Sargent, who is coming forward, hits the ball hard up to backward point, will get a single. Hits it hard into the ground rather, and then it went bouncing across to backward point. One more to Sargent, who's now gone on to 9, and the total has moved on to 14 without loss. The run rate is 4. I think at the end of the innings, they'll want to see a run rate of about 6.
Yeah, definitely. Want to get about 90 plus.
Yeah. Dixon comes in to strike. The left-handed Dixon. Barbados got a good batting line of that. Good all-round team too. As is Clark moves in to bowl to Dixon, who is leaving that alone outside the off stump. I would say well bowled. You wouldn't know it's not wicket to wicket, but it's just this little teasing line outside the off stump, as if inviting him to drive, to go after it. But he, with wisdom, allowed it to go into the gloves of Richards. Total remains on 14 without loss. Here he is again, is Clark in and bowls outside the off stump. Ball going further away. This one was closer to that marker, that blue marker that helps the umpire to kind of gauge as to how wide the ball is, but it certainly wasn't wide enough. 14 without loss.
Another good delivery there by Clark.
Clark again moves into bowl to Dixon. Here he is passing the umpire. Bowls to Dixon. Dixon is letting that go by. Oh, and it went by indeed and went down to the third man area. Cleaned up down that third man. Bad miss by Richard. He's generally a clean keeper. And that's the second miss we've seen for the day, but the batsman crossed through for what was a bye. So, extras now 4, 15 without loss as the over comes to an end. So, Clark has bowled 2 overs, no more than for 6, so he's been very economical. And the run rate 3.75 is 15 without loss. Barbados sent into bat.
Yeah, 15-foot loss. They thought that last ball day over. Barbados should have run 2 instead of 1. That ball traveled all the way to the boundary, and the batsman just jogged 1. That was very disappointing.
Yes, I think that's one of the features of the game that some of these young players would have to look at. The ability to turn ones into twos, attack the first run very quickly. And I don't think we've seen that very much among the youngsters. And that's one of the cardinal things you want to tell them. Please go for your first run quickly in the event that there is a possibility for a second run. 15 without loss, as Pierre will come in from the far end, and he's going to move in to bowl to Dixon. Here is Pierre, moves in now and bowls, and Dixon is in defense, pushes it up on the onside to mid-wicket, and there is no run. 15 without loss. Sedate start by Barbados. Not slow paced, but sedate, just quiet, you want to call it.
Yeah, the Leeward Island bowlers have been very good so far. Very disciplined.
They have been, as is Pierre once more moving in now and bowls to this delivery. Dixon is coming forward, pushes it back along the turf for the bowler to Said picking up. Didn't quite do that. Ball ricocheted off his grasp and then ran out in front of him. Quickly went, picked it up. And Sargent is calling down Dixon to have a word with him. Might be telling him, look, try and play a little bit of angle. Close the face of the ball, open it as the case may be. Get a single. Here he is moving in once more. His pair bowls to Dixon. And Dixon to this delivery is coming forward. Turns the ball behind square on the leg side. We'll get a single. Got a nice soft touch, and they will in fact come back for more runs. This might in fact even go all the way over the boundary, and that's 4 overthrows. Whoa.
Poor backing up by the mid-off fielder there. That's allowing the ball to go through his legs, not putting his body behind the ball.
Cardinal cricket sin. Get behind the ball, they tell you. And those are 4 runs. Well, it turned out to be 5, right?
That says facing, so. Oh, okay. It's 5 now. Yeah.
Okay. What is the umpire signaling?
5, I guess.
Oh, yes, he's just held up his hand and just saying to our scorers, well, there are 5 of them. Ill afforded. 20 without loss. It's a bowler's nightmare, a captain's nightmare, a team's nightmare. Sargent will now face up to Pierre, who moves in now and bowls to Sargent. Sargent is getting a wayward delivery down the leg side, wide, confirmed by the umpire. That was really, really wide. Don't know whether he might have just slipped out his grasp, but Richards had to dive across in spectacular goalkeeper-like manner to knock it down. Good effort there by the keeper. Total has moved by 1. Extras now 1 to 5. So they have been 1 wide and 1 by, 3 leg buys. Here again is Pierre in and bowls to Sargent. Sargent clips that through mid-wicket. Runs here for him. It's not going to go all the way. It's going to hold up just inside. They've gone for 2. They won't come back for the 3rd. The return comes to the bowlers and they get 2. So 2 more to Sargent. He's a fine player. 1 shot. I think every day we've had 1 shot by these youngsters. And again I say, on this occasion, surely they were not under pressure.
No reason to run short there. No reason at all.
They were not under pressure. They had sufficient time. And in fact, it's Sargent who is the guilty one, facing up now to Pierre. And missed his run up, would go all the way back. Yes, I could understand if there is a tight, really tight 2. But no, there was no pressure involved. Here once more is Pierre in and bowls to Sargent. Sargent is driving nicely out to short extra cover. And there is no run. Well bowled it was.
Yeah, well, boy.
Might have been a slightly slower ball too. Cloud has now made its way over the stadium, so we've lost the sunshine. As it's once more a Sergeant facing up to Pear. Here he is now, and bowls to Sergeant. Sergeant is hitting that in the air over mid wicket. That's going to go all the way for 4. That was a fine shot, really lovely. Pitched up on the middle next stump, and he came forward and whipped it through the long on area, widest long on, down to the boundary for 4. He's now gone to 14. This has been a good over by Barbados. 11 runs coming off Pear's first over, although 5 of them should not have really come. 26 without loss. Barbados sent into bat by the Leeward Islands.
Yeah, Sergeant with a aggressive shot down the ground. Getting another boundary in the over. I just wonder if momentum have shifted after that misfield, that overthrow, because Barbados is really going slow. Now they're getting the momentum and getting into the game.
Yes, it doesn't take a whole lot to turn the tide, you see. You have south tide, and within another half hour or so, then you can have north tide. Ali the Billard should understand what I'm talking about. He's from Fontenoy. He's been at the sea. So I wouldn't be surprised that he knows about those shifting tides. Ali the Billard is going to come calling a little later on. So change of bowling as spin brought in for the first time. Tilakani, who didn't have the best of games yesterday, would want to redeem himself today. Kunal Tilakani, I love his name. Moves in to bowl to Dixon. Here he is, and bowls, and Dixon is off the back foot, pushes the ball up on the offside, and they will get a single. Bat cricket, really bad cricket, because there is a short extra cover verging on a short mid off. The ball was going to the right of the bowler. Now he was trying to stop it, and the short extra coming around. Neither of them got there, and then the ball went down to long off. Should have been cut off, I would think, there at short mid off.
Yeah, better effort needed there.
Yes, agreed. Tilokani bowls and push back along the track for the bowler to pick up on his follow through. Just looked a little bit crap there, Sergeant. Pulling away a little bit outside the leg stump and on the back foot.
Just trying to make some room.
Here once more is Tilakani in and bowls to Sergeant, who is off the back foot and plays the ball out to a short extra cover. Can't score. Total remains 27 without loss. He's on 14. A lot would depend upon him. He's a natural stroke maker. Hits the ball cleanly. Tilakani in. Bowls to Sergeant. Sergeant is getting one that is shorter, that he really made a meal of. He didn't really cue that very well. Took the bottom edge. I think he's upset with himself. A short one like that, he could have, I would think hit it anywhere. 27 without loss. Tilokani in again. Made a slight adjustment, I think, to his. He's not quite ready now. All right, he's going to move in. Bowls to Sergeant. Sergeant is off the back foot, gets one that is very low. And he just managed really to dig that out. Oh, that one kept low. That area up there has been a bit dicey. It's been keeping low some deliveries. That one kept low.
Yeah, I've been watching Sergeant for a couple of games now. And against Spain, he's very reluctant to play off the front foot.
Here's a delivery. It's off the back foot this time. Ball straightened on him. Richard didn't collect well behind the stumps. The over comes to an end. And at the end of the over, well bowled by Tilokani. It's 27 without loss. And just a 1 run coming off a well bowled over.
Good start with the bowler. Excellent start. So Barbados just getting around 26 off the power play. So they definitely have to get a move on here now. 6 overs gone.
So, who's going to bowl from the far end now? Well, I think if they've noticed that Sargent is reluctant to play on the front foot to the spinners, it's a good idea to operate with the spinners.
Definitely.
So it's Jason Edward who will move from the far end, and he's going to get ready to bowl to Dixon, who's on 6. He's faced 8 deliveries, so that's not bad. He already spent a quarter of an hour at the crease, and he's going to bowl. That's Edward to Dixon. Barbados 27 without loss, 6 overs gone. There's a backward point and an extra cover, sweeper and a long off. That's the offside field. There is a delivery that is pushed up to mid-off, and there is no run. Flighted delivery, high trajectory, and Dixon coming forward and driving, but he's got acres that really should have opened the face of the bat maybe more and get the ball down to extra cover. Here's a delivery that is onto the leg stump, turned around, down to a fine leg, and they go to for a single. The return comes in, sharp one, but had sufficient time, the batsman, to cross. So Dixon has now gone on to 7. The total has moved on to 28 without loss, brings Sargent, who is 14, into strike. So there is the left-handed, right-handed combination. Sargent, the right-hander. Here is a delivery that is off the back foot. And he's going to frustrate himself because he should know that, look, you can't play all the balls off the back foot to the slow bowler. And he's really getting himself in a rut. Edward is again to bowl to Sargent, who to this delivery is again going onto the back foot, pokes the ball up to long off, will get a comfortable single. Good diving attempt there on the part of Edward to cut the ball off. But didn't manage to do so. So he can pride himself of really trying and showing the effort. And that's what the coaches like to see. That's what the captains like to see. To see effort.
Definitely. Need that effort in the field.
Yes. Dixon faces up to Edward. There he is now. And bowls. He is sedately just easing onto the back foot. Pushes the ball out to short extra cover. And there is no run. The total remains on 29 without loss. Edward again. He's done well so far in both Dixon. Dixon's off the back foot. Hits the ball just behind point on the offside, making room outside the leg stump. So that's a very good over there bowled by Edward. Just 2 runs coming off it. And Barbados on the 15 after 7 overs. 29 without loss.
Yeah, that's going up 4. That's over 4 over. Not losing the wicket. I think that Barbados need to just accelerate a little bit here now in the middle.
So Tilokani is going to continue. So spin operating from both ends. And it's been working so far for the Leeward Islands. Not that Barbados has lost a wicket, but the runs have been impeded. 29 without loss. Shem Sargent, he's on 15. And I think there is some concern here in the Barbadian camp, I would think. Tilokani moves in now and bowls to Sargent. Sargent is whipping that up to mid-wicket. Again, he's onto the back foot.
Fear with that back foot.
Yeah, he really does. There is no run. Still 29 without loss. Tilokani in, bowls to Sargent. Sargent is off the back foot. Hits it down to the mid-wicket position. Will get a comfortable single. He's gone by 1 now to 16. Barbados gone to 30 without loss. They've got to be a bit more positive here. They've got all the wickets intact. That's important. That's why they just need to be just a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, one of the batsmen has to take risks. At least one of them.
Tilokani would move in over the wicket, wrong the wicket rather, bowls. Dixon is off the back foot, daps the ball down to a short third man. They've got to hurry as the return comes into the non-striker's end. They get one more to Dixon's total, which is pushed on now to 8. Sargent comes into strike. Tilakani has been economical so far. None for 3. Into his second. Here's a delivery that he turns behind square on the leg side. Comfortable single picked up. Total moves by 1 now to 32 without loss. Sargent has gone to 17. Yeah, sometimes you've got players who prize the wicket so much, just don't want to get out, and that's good. That's the first thing you must have on your mind. Prize your wicket. Here is a delivery faster onto the back foot. I think Tilakani has read this well, that they tend to want to play onto the back foot. That one was pushed through. Ball went out to extra cover. Tilakani in now and bowls to Dixon. Dixon is getting a delivery that is pitched up, driven. Takes the outer edge, goes down to third man. They will come back. No, they don't. They don't come back for the second run. Well, I was a little bit surprised about that, because that fielder had to move from backward point down to third man, and I would think that they should have been aggressive with the first run and then go for the second. They didn't. So the over comes to an end. 8 overs gone. Tilakani 2 overs no base, none for 5. 17 to Sargent. Dixon is 9, and the run rate 4.13.
Yeah, the runner is not aggressive enough. Yesterday, Barbados had 3 run-outs, lost 3 wickets, and all 3 were run-outs. So a bit of concern here, running between the wickets for Barbados.
You wonder whether that might be in the back of the mind too, Shirley?
I believe so.
Yeah. Very often, sleep doesn't always take care of everything. Sometimes it does, other times it doesn't at all. So here is Edward moving in, bowls down to deep mid wicket. He's pulled by Dixon, and they get a single.
Bit more intent there by Dixon. As I said, batsmen got to think about getting runs first. Don't think about getting out. Don't think about getting out. You get out.
I like that. Here it's Sargent facing up. A delivery that is on the middle stump. Just makes a little room outside the leg stump, opens the face of the bat and glides it down to squarish cover. Can't score. He remains on 17, 34 without loss. Here's the delivery. Faster down the leg side. Good take by the keeper, but they will get a single. Oh, and he is taking eternity to shy at the stumps. Took so long. Wide confirmed by the umpire, and they did go through for a single. I thought that the keeper took so long to run the batsman out.
I also thought the batsman took really long to get
out there. Well, 36 without loss. Here is Edward in, and ball. Dixon is advancing down the track, and the ball goes behind him, and they didn't go for the single. Why wasn't Richards, for example, Sargent backing up and take the single?
Yeah, Sargent was also involved in a couple of those run-overs yesterday, so
no, that should have been a single.
Easy single.
Yes.
No excuse.
The keeper has to pull the glove off. He's got to collect, and his back is against the play, so he has to turn around and shy. All of that has to take place, and they could get to 22 yards outside the off stump. Off the back foot, opens the face of the bat skillfully down to third man. They've gone for one, will come back for the second. The return comes in. It's a meek, feeble one, and the batsman had time to cross for 2. So 2 more runs to Dixon. I thought he played that in a rather skillful manner. Didn't look to bang the ball square of the wicket, but just eased onto the back foot and opened the face of the bat, glided it in a rather dexterous manner to third man. He got 2. He's now moved on to 12. As here once more is Edward in, bowls and driving out to backward point. The return comes in. They get a single.
That single was tighter than the one that passed the keeper before.
Was. It certainly was. They all look very much in a tangle out there this morning. Barbados 39 without loss. Sargent comes in to strike. Delivery given generous flight. Uses his feet well. Hits it down to long off. The long off fielder had to come in and veer to his left for about 25 yards. They got a single. So one more to the total, which has now gone on to 40. 9 overs gone, 40 without loss. So Barbados got off to a good start from the context that they've got all the wickets intact. But they wouldn't want, after 15 overs, to be, let's say, 80 without loss.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, that'll be self-defeating.
Yeah, definitely. One of these batsmen has to take risks. One of these batsmen has to take risks.
And the natural stroke maker is Sargent. He should, because he's been there from the start. I would say he has to be the principal figure. Here is Tilokani in bowls to Sargent down the track and lifts that down to the mid-wicket area. They will cross for one come back for the second as the return comes into the keeper. Backed up there. It was too strong. Well, really, it was intended for the bowlers in, rather, and it went somewhere between the bowler and the keeper. Whatever the case is, they couldn't get an overthrow. So 1 to Sargent, who's gone to 19. Dixon, who's 13, comes in to strike. Tilokani moves in now to bowl to the left-handed Dixon, who turns it out to mid-wicket, can't score, onto the back foot. This has been a very good spell here by Tilokani. Into his third, none for 6. As he is in once more to bowl to Dixon. Here he is, round the wicket, and Dixon is wrapped in the pad, ball sinking down the leg side. There's a little stifled appeal by Tilokani. How well he's bowled in contrast to yesterday. He's bowled very, very well today, indeed. His captain must be very happy with his returns.
Yeah, definitely a good spell. He's in definitely a good spell today. Good control. They're showing good control today.
None for 6 so far. Into his third. In now, bowls to Dixon, who is onto the back foot. Turns it neatly. Just in front of square on the leg side. Will get a single. He's now moved on, Dixon, to 14. And Barbados, 42 without loss. They would have been glad to be, let's say, 52. Tilokani will come over the wicket. Bowls to Sargent down the track. Lifts it in the air. The drops just in front of the fielder coming in there at long on. Well, maybe it was a good thing he didn't cue it all that well. So one more to Sargent, who's got to 20. But you can see him advancing down the track, looking to be aggressive. Well bowled there though by Tilokani. This is his final delivery in his spell. He's coming round the wicket into bowl to Dixon. Here he is now in bright sunshine. Bowls, and it's a flatter delivery, shorter, onto the back foot. Plays the ball out on the offside. That completes the over. Well bowled, well bowled. Very good spell by Tilokani. And he can be proud of his returns, as well as his captain and his teammates, and of course his country as a whole. It's 43 without loss. Barbados sent into bat.
Yeah, this Sergeant showing some more intent than that last over, but just can't get the ball away to the boundary. Well ball by Tilokani, really good spell. 3 overs, 8 runs. Well done, young man.
Yeah, he can walk away rather proud and rather happy with a great performance. So, Barbados 4.30, which is rather slow. Here is a delivery down the track, gets onto the front foot and hits that, a full toss through mid-wicket, and that's 4. That was a bad delivery. Bowled there by Edward. And Sargent came down the track, met it on the full, and pulled it through mid-wicket. 4 runs from the moment it left the bat. He'll be happy about that. And immediately there is a change of field. There is the deep mid-wicket posted. Then there'll be a deep square leg. And the fine leg, which was in the circle, of course, that's pulled out. Here, once more, is Edward in now. Bowls the Sargent down the track. He's lifting that down to long off. You could see his aggressive intention now. Gets a single. He is now moved on to 25. Total has gone now to 48 without loss. So the 50 looming ahead. At least that'll be the first landmark they'll be looking at. As Dixon, who's 14, faces up now to Edward, and he's off the back foot. Plays it very nice. Turns it behind him. That's the backward square, and gets a single. One more to his total, who's gone to 15, and the total has gone to 49 without loss. Brings Sargent back into strike. Here's Edward Bowl down the track, and ball is hit out to short extra cover. Didn't cue it very well, but you can see him using his feet now.
Yeah, you can see the intent.
Yes.
More positive intent here.
Here is Edward in bowls. He's down the track again and hits the ball down to long on. Will get a comfortable single. So one more to Sargent, which brings him up to 26. And the 50 has now come up. 50 in over number 11. The run rate now beginning to climb. It's 4.62. As Edward would move into bowl to Dixon this time. Flatter delivery onto the back foot, pulled down to the deep backward square position. Will get a single. The return comes in very quickly. Richard having to leap at that one, but no harm done. The overthrow went and backed up nicely there behind the keeper. So the over comes to an end. 11 overs gone, 4 overs to go, and it's 51 without loss.
Yeah, a good over there for the Barbados team. Sargent showing a lot more positive intent, picking up a boundary in the process. I would just wonder if Barbados left it too late to go hard.
Well, they've not lost a wicket now, so they can really put their feet on the pedal. They've got everything. To me, the stage is set. You've not lost a wicket. We're not saying that you got to be careless per se, but you can now say that you've not lost a wicket. It's a fine opportunity. A platform has been built, and they've got to use the remaining overs to be an all-out, blatant attack on the Leeward Islands. Jones will get ready to bowl to Dixon. But the Leewards have done a good job bowling.
Very good job.
51 for 1. Long off and long on. Right back on the boundary. Not too sure if I would have pushed them right back per se. Here he is, moving in now. Is pushed up down to the long on area and dropped just in front. The fielder coming in there, they get one. Usually you've got to be pretty strong to go over it. I would tend to tell my boundary riders, which probably is not the conventional thing, but just stay inside. Maybe about 10 yards, thereabout. The chances of going over the boundary line based upon who is hitting. Now Richard, for example, I know that he's got the power to do that. Here is Jones in to bowl to Sargent rather, outside the off stump. And a big swish at that one, and doesn't make contact. So Sargent, of course, as I was about to say, can go over. So you've got to know who is batting, and their strength, their ability to hit hard and high. All of those dynamics are important features of observations. Here once more is Jones in, bowls to Sargent. Sargent is off the back foot and hits that down to the mid-wicket area. Now they've hustled for one. They should go back for the second. The return comes into the non-striker's end. They get it. 2. Well, more aggression in the running this time. He's gone to 28. And sometimes the things that you should do first, you tend to do them last.
Don't underestimate this guy, Kimar Dixon. He's a clean strike of the ball.
So, Jones in now to bowl to Sargent. Here he is now there and bowls, and he is looking to hit that across the line. Did that cannon into the pad maybe?
Just missed everything. A nice
It did miss everything.
A nice slower ball. I think that was well bowled by Jones.
Oh, well done. I've seen a couple of slow balls in the tournament so far. I think it's been underused though. Jones moves in again to bowl to Sargent. He's there, and Sargent is
Okay.
looking to turn that out on the onside. Good bowling. This is really good bowling by Jones. Sunk it into the leg stump, right up, almost Yorker-like. Leg by confirmed by the umpire, and he was looking for the big booming drive, but it was into the leg stump, cannoned into the pad, and then dribbled out on the offside. They got a leg by. Well bowled. Dixon, 17, comes into strike. Jones, none for 6. He's into his second over. This is a final delivery. He's got to end well here. Moves in now to bowl to Dixon. And Dixon is getting away with delivery on the leg side, confirmed as a wide. We just said that he has to end well, but he didn't end well at all.
Commentator's curse.
I know, right? We've heard these commentators' curses over the years. It's now become part of the repertoire in cricket. Here he is again, moving in, is Jones. There and bowls to Dixon. Dixon is having a big hit at that one, doesn't cue it all that well, goes out to, bouncing merrily out to short mid-off. The over comes to an end. He'll be a bit disappointed with that final delivery. That's, of course, Dixon. So after 12 overs, 56 without loss, Sargent is 28. He's 28 of 37, and Dixon is 17 of 27.
Yeah, just wondering what was Barbados' game plan going into this 15 over game. Just 18 deliveries left in the innings. 18 deliveries left in the innings, and score is only 56, and no wickets is down.
Yeah, as we said a little early on, we don't want you to be 80 without loss at the end of your quota.
Well, there's a high possibility, no, to be honest.
I think they'll be disappointed with that.
Very, very disappointed.
Yeah, when you've got the quota reduced to 15, then it gives you that window to be cavalier. It gives you the window to be aggressive.
Yeah, just an excuse to play more shots,
Yes.
more cricket shots.
Yeah, I agree with you. You do have got
Not going to shell.
you do have quite a contingent from Barbados. I would suspect some parents have come down, haven't they?
Yeah, a lot of parent support.
That's good. But you know, when they get up to under 19, they don't want the parents to follow them around, do they?
Yeah, some players. Yeah, some players.
Yes, at under 15, yeah, nice to have your parents around. We got up to age 18 now. Please give us a break. It's all right. We can handle ourselves.
Some room.
So here is Miller, the captain, in bowls, and he clips that. Oh, looking to clip it rather down to back square. The ball inadvertently goes out on the offside to a squarish cover. Total remains on 56 without loss. Sargent, 28. A lot depends upon him. He's been there from the start. Miller goes back, longish approach, moves in, straightens up his approach now and bowls to Sargent, who made a few steps down the track and hits the ball down to long off. Will get a comfortable single. He's now moved on to 29, brings Dixon, who is 17, into strike.
You see another slow delivery there, used by Miller. Well, boy.
Yes, means that they're thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. This has been a very good performance by the Leeward Islands, and I think it's good for Leeward Islands cricket too. Just to remind them that the skill is as good as the skill of any other territory in the West Indies. That's very good and healthy for cricket. Morning to Sylvester Joseph, who is here with the team, coaching here once more. Is a delivery that brings Dixon onto the front foot, hits that in the air. The catch is going to be taken, dropped down at long on. They will come back for the second run. Ooh, two fielders were converging on the ball. Did any of them said, hey, leave it to me? Well, in the end, it went in. It should have been taken. I don't think that they were so close to collide. And let's look at it. Now, here are two fielders Going after the ball, we missed that one. We'll have to come back. Here is a delivery that is hit down to third man for 4. 4 runs. Peel off the outer edge. Keeper couldn't cut it off, and third man made a desperate, failing attempt to get there. So this over is yielding. Good over here for Barbados. 63 without loss. Leeward Islands would want to maintain their composure. Barbados would want to accelerate. It's a nice little contest developing here as Miller would move in again to bowl to the left-handed Dixon, who is playing that out on the outside. They got to go through for the single. They got to hurry, and a feeble return to the non-strikers, and they get it rather comfortably in the end. So one more to the total. So that's Dixon's got 24. Just one delivery remaining in Miller's over. Won't be very happy with this one. Making some adjustment to the field. He's calling in the deep extra cover and putting him there in a run-saving position. The mid-wicket is pushed right back on the boundary. Miller moves in now to bowl to Sargent. He's there and bowls, and Sargent is looking to hit that over long on. Doesn't make contact. Ball goes behind the stump, which it collects. The over comes to an end, and at the end of 13, 64 without loss. Dixon is 24. He's catching up there with Sargent, who's just fallen away a bit. He's 29, and the run rate being 4.92.
Yeah, Barbados not in a very good position after 13 overs. You know, it's not about losing wickets, it's about getting runs. And as I said earlier, I'm not sure what was Barbados' game plan coming into this game, the 15 over game. I just feel they left it too late to go hard.
Yes, but the old-fashioned cliche runs already on the board. Whether that's going to really come in today to play, we'll see. So it's Jones moving in to bowl to Dixon. Dixon is getting a delivery way outside the off stump, wide confirmed. I think that Jones saw him coming, Amari Jones, and sprayed it outside the off stump. But the spray was too wide. Richard collecting behind the stump. Extras now have gone into double figures. There are now 10 as Jones again in. And bowls to Dixon. Dixon is having a big heave at that one. That one again was close to a wide, but just inside the blue mark.
Dixon just lifting his head too early and doesn't make contact.
This has been a good performance by the Leewards. They bowl well. As he's in again, Jones, and bowls to Dixon. Dixon is coming forward. This is interesting that just inside the blue line.
I think that was a good delivery.
Yes, it was. He saw him come in to give the charge, sprayed it wide, and Richards collects behind the stumps. Good contest here. So we've had 2 dot balls. Jones, will he go wide again? In now, bowls to Dixon. Dixon is getting outside the leg stump, tugs the ball down to backward square. Ball taking maybe the bottom part of the bat. One more to his total, which has gone to the quarter century mark. It's now 25. And Barbados, all the 6 on the board. They're 66 without loss. Brings Sargent, who is 29 into strike, right-handed. Field changing over to accommodate him. Sometimes I wonder whether accommodate is the right word. Probably not. Here he is once more. It's Jones, the bowl to Sargent. He's there now and bowls. And that's a slow delivery, well bowled. Hits him on the pad. There is, the non-striker was running down like Dixon. And there's a little opportunity there. Just a little opportunity for a run out. But ball not collected cleanly, and Dixon had sufficient time to run back. Well, Sargent is down. Don't know if that ball, that cannon into his feet there, maybe down in the ankle area, may have hurt him a bit. And the physio is called on.
Yeah, I think the ball struck him and hit on his toe.
Yes, maybe somewhere down there. So let's see what the physio is say.
Yep.
That physio hails from my village. In fact, his cousin who takes his job rather seriously. 66 without loss.
Sergeant really struggling in this innings. You know, he's on 29, faced 41 deliveries. His straight rate just about 70. I think it should be a bit higher.
Yes, 41 deliveries for his 29 runs. It would be nicer to see, let's say, 33 deliveries for his 29.
Hmm.
Yeah. His strike rate is 70.73. Won't be happy with that. And then makes it, just to maybe add insult to injury, that he's just injured himself a bit there, maybe knocked on the toe or the ankle. So he would be in a bit of pain. All is well. The old proverbial saying, all is well that ends well. As the physios leave, he seemed to be okay. And the game is about to resume. 66 without loss. Sergeant is 29. Well, we have just another 2.6 overs remaining. As here is Jones in and bowls, and he is missing that one down the leg side. We see what the umpire signal. What does he say? That's bye. Is it a bye?
That's a very good delivery from Jones. Another Yorker.
Yes, I have to be corrected here. I did say another two.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
1.1.
Just 1.1. A little nudge from my co-commentator. Quickly alerted me that I had said something wrong. Here once more is Jones. In bowls to Dixon. Dixon has a big swing at that one outside the off stump. Took his eyes off the ball. So that completes the over. 14 overs gone. 14 overs gone. 67 without loss. 67 without loss. And I'm sure that Barbados would say we have found ourselves in a rather unhealthy position.
Yeah, definitely so. But the level of the fast bowlers from the Leeward Islands showing good skills. Very, very good skills. Good variations. The bonus on Yorkers, the bonus on slower balls. And mixing it up well.
Yes, that's the thing. I think we've seen a great level of maturity in the bowling of the Leeward Islands. So here is a delivery that is hit down to the long on. This is the final over coming up and would get a single. So Miller, very meticulous, would ensure that all his players are where he wants them. He is sending the mid-wicket a little squarer, verging on a deep backward square. He's done a good job, really done a good job in his field placing this innings. There's a long off, long on, shorted extra cover, sweep on the offside. Here he is now, bowls to Dixon. Dixon is coming forward and hitting that down to the mid-wicket area. Good delivery. They get only one. And if the Leewards could restrict them to getting singles, they would be happy with this. So far, it's pretty good in this final over. 69 without loss. Sargent comes in to strike. He's 30. I think he will be a little bit unhappy with his overall batting performance today. Well, every day is not Sunday, I would think. Carey is what must be in bowls to Sargent. Sargent gets a slower delivery that hits down to long on. Could do no more with that. Just a single. Well bowled, Miller. There is a cool, composed demeanor about Miller. If you look at him, he never seemed to be ruffled at all. Seemed to know exactly what he wants to do. Got a level-headed demeanor, and that's very, very good for a young star. Doesn't seem to be ruffled at all.
Very impressive. Very impressive with his leadership on the field also.
Yes, done a great job. Comes in once more to bowl to Dixon. He's just about there and bowls, and Dixon is looking to drive that. The intent is very good, right up there, almost into the block hole, and smothered that desire to drive the ball maybe down to long on. Total remains on 70 without loss.
Another good piece of skill there by
Mm.
Miller.
Well bowled. Miller again bowls, and Dixon is hitting that in the air, just behind square on the leg side. They will in fact come back for the single. No, that's not good cricket. Not good cricket at all.
No.
Ball went down to fine leg rather, and yes, we agree that there was a single. There
Yeah.
was no need to shy at the non-striker's end.
I thought. I thought.
No, don't worry, they're gonna learn. They're still in the primary stages of development of the game called cricket. Dixon faces up. He's 28. Here is Miller in. Bowls to Dixon. Dixon is going outside the leg stump and heaving that down to backward square. They're not going to come back for the second run. The ball goes straight to the fielder, and they get one good return back into the gloves of Richard. So one more good over so far. Really is. This is the final delivery coming up. Did it? Oh, it's the end, really. I thought there was one more delivery to go. It's the end of it. So, yeah, it's the end of it. I just thought there was one more delivery to go. So, Barbados under 15, 73 without loss. 73 without loss. That's not a happy sight. The only happy thing about it is that they didn't lose a wicket, but they should have been maybe 90 without loss, 95 without loss. And the run rate 4.87. 4.87. Sargent not out 31. I think he'll be a bit disappointed. Kimar Dixon not out 29. And don't forget that Boyne was retired, not out on 2. Let me just quickly give you a little bit of the bowling. Miller, 3 overs, no miss, none for 16. Clark, none for 6 of 2. Jones. We've just lost our scorecard, our bowling scorecard there for a minute. We're trying to see if we can bring it back up and give it a rest. Yeah. So Jones, none for 9 of 3. Pair bowled just a 1 over for 11. He was rather expensive. Tilokani, I was very impressed with him. 3 overs, no means none for 8. And Jason Edwards, none for 17. Slightly expensive too. But Miller's bowlers, they did their job.
Yeah, I think it was a very impressive bowling performance by the Leeward Islands, and poor batting effort by the Barbados team. I just can't see how we could score, how Barbados can score 73 runs in 15 overs without losing a wicket.
So the news is that the Leeward Islands, who won the toss, sent Barbados into bat, restricted them to 73 without loss of 15. It means that the Leewards would need to score 74 of their 15. I think that they've got a good opportunity to pull this off. So we're going to wait for Leeward's reply. If you've got some things to do, you can get them out of the way. And as soon as the Leewards are ready to chase 73, we'll be on hand to bring you the coverage. And welcome back here to the National Cricket Stadium in St. George's, Grenada, where we saw not the best batting display in the world by Barbados. On the 15, they scored 73 without loss. In their turn at the crease, Sargent getting 31, Kimar Dixon 29, and had a partnership of 64. Don't forget that Boyne was retired, not out too. And the Leeward Islands went out there while the umpires were going out too, as if set for battle. And they've got to get 74, and they've got to score at around 4.87. So, as we say, good morning to Ali the Billet. Ali, morning. You love what you saw?
Yeah, good morning, Pastor. Yeah, up to the stage with the fact that he didn't lose any wickets, but at 73 without loss in a 15 over, and as the commentator said before, probably could have been 80 or 90 for 5 or 6. It would have been a better score, but 73 has been a sort of figure that has created some problems here. And there were 2 or 3 previous games that the team batting first got to in the 70s, and the second team struggled.
Yeah, they want to be careful though that they don't go too hard, too early. First delivery outside the arch stump, and just moving further away. So it's going to be an interesting chase here. Really going to be interesting. Saunders, who had a good match yesterday, left-handed. Pollard would move in to bowl to Saunders, left arm over the wicket. He is in now with a slip in and bowls. Saunders is coming forward, drives nicely, runs here. He's off the mark. They should get 2 here. Are they going to come back for a third? I doubt it. The return comes in to the keeper's end. 2 pitched up. And the intent was good, drove nicely. By nature, an aggressive batsman is Saunders. He's off the mark, he's gone to 2. But I've also got to keep, Ali, the fact that the required run rate is under 5. So there's no need to panic. Here he is, once more, is Pollard, Jakeem Pollard, in now and bowls. And Saunders is leaving that alone outside the off stump. How names have changed over the years. They used to be the traditional African names, or English names rather, that many of our forefathers have adopted. Now we're hearing the Jaheem and the Jalils and the Akimos. What a change over the last 15, 20 years.
And some very difficult to pronounce.
Yes, I dare say. There's a Shaquille. All of these names were names that were non-existent, let's say 20, 30 years ago, by African descendants. No parents. Sometimes you wonder what they do to give their children names. Maybe toss it up in a hat. Here is a delivery that is bringing the left-handed batsman forward, takes the outer portion of the bat. That's not where he wanted it to go, inadvertently down to backward square, but he got a single. Is Saunders, who's now gone on to 3, and the Leeward Islands 3 without loss, now brings Jaheim Clark into strike. What should be the move there by the Leeward Islands, the approach rather, in terms of batting?
I don't think they need to do anything different. 4.3 or 5 or an over is not a big score. It's not a big run rate, so they don't need to hurry over it. They could just watch the couple overs to see what the Barbadians have within them, and then start to increase the tempo.
They got 2 slips in. You agree with that?
I see. It seems to be bringing the ball into the right-hander, so I like to see.
Pollard in to Clark, outside the off stump, left alone, collected behind the stumps.
I think also the score they made, they probably figure that they need to get wickets. early wicket, so they are going into the attack early, hoping to pick up an early scalp.
Yes. Well, Leeward Islands they do have an opportunity here to go over the finish line. Here is Pollard in now to bowl to Clark, and Clark is getting one that is right up. There is an appeal for caught behind, not out, says the umpire. Ball was right up in the block hole, just outside the off stump. So the over has come to an end. 1 over gone, 3 runs, 3 without loss.
A good first over from the opening bowler Pollard, left-handed, bowling over the wicket. Kept the ball up to the bat. The Leeward Island batsman, of course, it's just the first over. They will watch to see what is happening. They don't need to hurry. It's not a massive score, so they can just take a few overs to get into the groove, and then start to go after the paltry score of 73 made by the Barbadians.
Yeah, yes, it really was paltry indeed. Saunders is there and just marking out his guard, and it would be Gittins who will move in to bowl from the far end. Here he is, got a longish approach, and will move in now to bowl to Saunders, who is slashing at that outside the off stump, doesn't make contact, keeper collects, and there is no run.
Well, maybe the heavy overcast notice, and we said that they're playing with 2 slips, but no. Let me see, the 2 deep men on the boundary are the third man and the long leg. I think probably you're looking for the man to be bowling outside the off stump. There could be a covering fielder on the cover boundary.
Here he is once more. Is Gittins to bowl to Saunders. Saunders is in defence, pushes the ball out to extra cover, and there is no run.
Yeah, 73 again. Nice composed shot from Saunders. As you said, a heavy set guy, one of the bigger players in the tournament. And had a beautiful inning yesterday. So you like to repeat that today.
As it's going to be once more, Gittins from the far end will move in now to bowl to Saunders, who to this delivery is coming forward and looking to pull. He may have dropped it on his return, did he?
No, he
didn't.
Slipped.
Okay.
The bowler slipped in his follow through, and fortunate for the batsman because it just lobbed back just around fell just at the stumps at the non-striker end, and the bowler was flat down on the ground.
Yeah, he wanted to pull that to mid-wicket. Whether it came onto him a little faster than anticipated, not sure, but he didn't cue it all that well at all. Into over number 2, 3 without loss, bowled by Gittins. He's been pretty good so far. 2 slips. They're going to bring the third man into the circle, and the square leg is going to be pushed right back on the boundary. Then there is a short mid-wicket. The third man is pulled out. A slip also. No, the slip remains. There's a backward point and a squarish cover. The squarish cover is now being moved onto the extra cover area. So, bit of changes. Here once more is Gittins moving in now to bowl to Saunders. He is just about there now and bowls to Saunders, who is flashing at that one outside the off stump. Little away movement. Good take by the keeper sergeant.
The 2 slips in a position and a deep backward square. I wonder, is he going to bowl short or is he going to pitch up? Because he's setting the field for both.
So, this is going to be a very interesting contest here. Here, once more, is Gittins to bowl to Saunders. Saunders is coming forward, drives, but I was just about to say can't pierce the outside field, but indeed he does, and would get the ball down to backward point, will get 2. So he's now moved on to 5. All 5 runs scored by Saunders so far. And the total, of course, as I just said, five without loss. Current run rate is 2.73, but that's going to go up expectedly. But again, they've got to be careful not to wait too late. Gittins moves in once more. Nice approach. Bowls to Saunders. Saunders is off the back foot and cuts well. Fine shot. I don't think it is going to go all the way to the boundary, but they've gone for one. We'll come back for the second. The return comes in to Clark, to Sargent rather. Backed up nicely. And they get two. So outside the off stump onto the back foot. And Saunders slapped that behind square. He is all seven runs scored by him. And after 2 overs, the Leeward Islands chasing 73 for victory. They're 7 without loss.
Yeah, no need to go ultra attacking by the Leeward Island batsman, but of course Sanders, as we said, is sort of heavy set, big guy, you could say, for that age. Using some muscle in the last two shots, short outside the off stump, giving him the width, and he played 2 beautiful shots just backward a point and got some runs. The Barbadian are bowling fairly steady, it has not gone wides and the no balls just yet. So they are still in line with what they like to do.
Pollard is in now and bowls. A delivery that is down the leg side, wide confirmed there by the umpire, James Clark.
I should not say that he didn't bowl wide.
Yeah, well, they just did, right?
And they like to prove the commentators wrong.
As if sometimes they're listening. So it's once more Pollard, left arm seamer from over the wicket, in now to bowl to Clark. Clark is coming forward. He's wrapping on the pad. There was a appeal for leg before. Not out since the umpire. Ball going just in front of square on the leg side. Everybody went up in appeal. Oh, don't be surprised about that. When you've got a small total like that and you know that you didn't bat as well and the ball hits the pad, everybody's going to go up. Challenge the umpire to raise the fatal index finger. Let's look at it. Yeah, that was pitch, but going further down the leg side. Good decision. Really good decision. Yeah, once more is Pollard in now and bowls to Clark. Clark is looking to drive, hits the ball into the ground. Doesn't go very far. So it's a good steady bowling effort here on the part of Gittins and Pollard. Into over number 3, 8 without loss. The run rate 3.43. They've got to get it up to that 4 mark. That's important while maintaining the wicket. Pollard again would move in to bowl to Jaheim Clark, who is looking to turn that out on the onside. And didn't handle it all that well. The keeper, too, Sargent, didn't collect cleanly, but no harm done. Didn't result in a single. As Saunders will have a word of admonition there to Clark. What would he be telling him, Ali? Your years of astuteness would say that.
Getting the ball to come back into the right hand, and that one actually went between bat and pad and over the stumps. So you must be warning him, be careful, they are coming back into you.
Pollard to Clark. And to this delivery, he is... He's bowled him! Looking to play across the line. Oh, that was a lovely delivery. Not good batting there, I must say, by Clark, who went inside and was looking to turn it onto the leg stump. Beat everything, bat and pad. Let's look at it here. Was a good delivery, but wasn't good batting, I dare say. He is going across and looking to turn it out on the onside, beat everything. And the off stump was rocked back and the bail spattered. So the Leewards, they've lost one. They're 8 for 1.
Well, a good delivery. I don't think that one, a good bowling. I don't think that one came back as much as the previous delivery, and that is why he was attempting to turn it. It was a straighter delivery, and he played just so wrong it. and it went between the batter and the pad. The previous delivery was similar, except that it came into him. That one went pretty straight through, and he's still trying to turn in, probably expecting it to come back into him, and he would have been playing it off the pad. It was on the inside of the pad, sort of flat bat, and it went between the bat and pad. And a beautiful delivery and a good start by the Barbadian pace bowlers. They really responded to the call that you need to pick up wickets and keep it very tight, because you don't have many runs on the board.
Yeah, right. They certainly have kept it tight. Well bowled there by Pollard. It's bowled wicket to wicket. The new batsman is Kunal Tilokani, who's come out. He is bowled well. He needs to bat well now. Here is a delivery by Pollard to Tilokani, who is off the front foot, pushes the ball in front of square on the offside, just behind square rather, and there is no run. 8 for 1. So we're into the third over, just the final delivery of this. So they got the breakthrough via the bold route by Pollard, who moves in once more to bowl to Tilokani, who is coming forward, looking to drive. There's an appeal for caught behind. Doesn't hit anything. Sargent collects behind the stumps. The over comes to an end. Well bowled. And so after 3 overs, the Leewards 8 for 1. And we could well have a match here in hand, Adi.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I said before that's 70 in the 70s in the previous game. Some 16 overs, and team got into the 70s, and the both games went right to the last over. In fact, one went with just 2 deliveries to go. So it wouldn't be surprising if this game goes all the way. So far, the Barbadians have shown that they are bowling pretty okay, pretty tight. We know that Leeward Islands have a strong batting lineup, and I think that will make the game very competitive. I would not surprise if Saunders could be a key person in this batting, in this chase.
Yeah, let's see. I would agree with you, but sometimes Ali says something and the run of play goes directly against what he says. Well, let's prove Ali developed to be right this time. 8 for 1, as Saunders will be facing up to Gittins. Here is Gittins. Moves in now to bowl to the left-handed Saunders, who is getting one down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. Just allow that to go by lifting the elbows, so to speak, and let it pass through. Sargent collects behind the stumps. The total 9 for 1. Well, wide signal. So let's see what extras have gone to 2. That's right. And I don't think the Barbadians would want to give away many extras either. They've got to keep this tight.
Yeah. Extras is a bonus.
Gittins to Saunders, who is driving back along the turf for the bowler to knock down on his follow through. And pick up also. Total remains on 9 for 1. We've lost the sunshine, but viewers, don't get perturbed. Doesn't mean that the rain is going to come momentarily. Turns once more. Is Gittins from the top of his mark and begins a nice easy leaning approach. He's there now and bowls to Saunders, who's looking to drive right up. Doesn't make contact. Sargent collects behind the stumps. So this is a very good bowling effort by the opening pair of Pollard and Gittins. Captured 1 wicket already there, Pollard. It's 1 for 4 of 2. And Gittins trying to do what Pollard has done. They're into their 4th over. 9 for 1. The Leewards, who did a very good job on the field of bowling, they now got to do even better batting. Saunders faces up to Gittins, and he is getting onto the back foot, hits that in the air. It goes down to the deep mid-wicket area. They will in fact just get a single. The return comes into Sargent, so airborne, but yielded 1. 10. Total has gone to double figures now. Right-handed Tilokani comes into strike. He's yet to score. Faced only 2 balls. Takes what seemed to be a middle stump guard. Just a slip in. Third man and fine leg right back on the boundary. backward point, cover, mid-off and mid-on, conventional, mid-wicket is a little straight and short, and there's a backward square, as he is once more moving in. That's Gittins. He started, stop, go back. We've also seen that quite a lot in the tournament, where bowlers, and that's the correct thing. If they're not happy about the approach, they should go back. And obviously the coaches have told them that. Moves in now to bowl to Lokani, who is
Bowled him.
Bowled him. Oh, that was a lovely delivery. Really lovely. Right up in the block hole. And before he could look to push the ball back along the track and maybe slightly playing across the line too, hit the middle stump or maybe middle and leg stump. And he is bowled without scoring. Let's look at it on the replay. Right up. Looking to come to, oh, that was a lovely delivery and I got it right. Middle and leg stump. The bails went all over the place while the middle and leg stump, they were disturbed. And so the Leeward Islands further disturbed. They've lost 2 wickets, 10 runs on the board, and they're making this a bit of a muddle.
Yeah, beautiful bowling. The pace bowler bowling from over the wicket, slightly bringing the ball in. And that one pitch right up, and the batsman just playing a bit across, as you can see on the replay, looking to turn it onto the onside. He went between bat and pad. Of course, when the ball passed the bat, it was literally flat batted, and he went between that gap and knocked back the middle and leg stump. Beautiful bowling. I think the 2 bowlers, Pollard and Gittins, have been bowling extremely well, and our fella commentator Clark must be pretty happy now.
Oh, he should be. If he's not happy, then I'm gonna question his patriotism. 10 for 2. New batsman is Matthew Miller. He's got to play an important innings here. Old-fashioned captain's knock. Comes in with his team in trouble. And the 2 Barbadian fast bowlers, they're bowling well, really well. That was a sensational Yorker. So, Matthew will be taking strike. Here now is Gittins moving in and bowls to Miller. Miller is getting one outside the off stump. Had a half-hearted push at that ball. Sargent collects behind the stumps. Still 10 for 2.
And good condition for pace bowling. And they are able to utilize it because you could see the ball having a bit of swing in it at times. A nice, cool condition, just suited for the fast bowlers.
Yes. Every fast bowler would love to bowl in conditions like this. Turns once more from the top of his mark in slightly dull condition. Moves in now to bowl to Miller. Miller is turning that up on the offside, pushing it up on the offside rather. Made a few exploratory steps down the track as if wanting a single, but couldn't score. The ball went out gentle to extra cover. The over comes to an end. 4 overs gone. The run rate is 2.50, so it's now climbed up the required run rate to 5.82. 10 for 2 with Saunders 8. A lot depends upon him, and Miller is yet to score.
Yeah, 10 for 2. I think the Barbadians will be pretty happy. They're just sort of pulling themselves back into the game. As we said, the batting performance could have been a lot better. They could have probably looked for another 15, 20 more runs with the fact that they didn't lose any wickets. But they have come out here, obviously revived themselves and given a very good bowling performance.
And the pass goal, that means that the Leewards are some 2 runs behind. 9 behind. Here is a delivery that is driven up down the track, to long off. It's not going to get into the boundary. No, it doesn't. They will come back for what would be the second run. And I think they need to just run between the wicket a little quicker. He's gotten 2 though, Saunders. Well driven. He's gone to 10, 12 for 2. Pollard. He's bowled well. Picked up a wicket, the prize wicket of Jaheim Clark, as he will move in again to bowl to Saunders. We did say that a lot depend upon Saunders, who's a good clean hitter of the ball. Here he is once more and bowls to Saunders. Saunders is driving back past the bowler. They go to for a single and they get it. Saunders having to hustle to get down to the non-striker's end. He did well, just sort of hit the ball on the run. Saw the opportunity for the single. As the fielder there, that's Jaden Chase, coming in quickly from mid-on. Couldn't prevent the batsman from getting there. So one more to the total. It's now gone on to 12. Saunders has gone to 11. And Miller now comes in to strike. Field changing over for the right-handed Miller. Just a slip in, third man, backward point. Sweeper is going to be pushed right back on the boundary. Mid-off and mid-on, as here is once more Pollard in and bowls to Miller. Miller is coming forward, pushes the ball out to extra cover. Very nice, easy push. Maybe they're thinking about seeing off these two. 13 for 2.
I think the way they're bowling, it would be a good idea. Sometimes you just have to respect what a man is doing on the day, and they are definitely bowling well.
Yes, they certainly are. Here once more Pollard moves into bowl to Miller, and Miller is coming forward looking to drive. Good delivery right up, doesn't make contact.
You can see the batsman giving the hand signal as to what is happening, and you can see showing that the ball is coming into him. And definitely Pollard has been doing that. He has that ability, left-handed, to pitch the ball and get it to come into the right-handed batsman. I was a bit surprised that it did put a cover sweeper on the cover. Now he comes into a relegation cover area.
Here is a he missed his run. There is Pollard.
But he never looked as if he was going to bowl that.
That's true.
He just jogged. Yeah.
Yeah. Just it's always really refreshing to see a young left arm seamer, swing or seam bowler. Here's a delivery that wrapped him on the path. There's a paper like before. Got him gone. Oh, he was advancing down the track, Miller, looking maybe to squeeze it down, maybe behind square on the leg side. Crashed into the pad. The appeal went up. The umpire with a slow finger, but it was deadly. Index finger said that's out. Let's look at it on the replay. Here's the delivery now coming up. He is advancing down the track. Beautifully bowled. Hit him. Did it go onto the back foot on the back leg? Whatever the case, front or back. The appeal went up and the umpire said, hey, that's out. So Miller goes leg before to Pollard without scoring. The Leewards are precariously perched at 13 for 3.
Well, he doesn't look to be that happy. Right? The only problem he could have is that the fact that he thought he was coming down the wicket, but he was dropping plumb onto the boot, which is somewhere around the middle stump. So you can't tell what will happen from there on.
Yeah, maybe you may argue, Ali, that now it pitched and there seemed to be a bit of inward movement. Now that would be my only concern. A little bit of inward movement. Might it have gone past the leg stump? Touch and go.
Yeah, touch and go. I think he always say don't put the umpire's mind in doubt by allowing the ball to hit your pad.
Yeah. I thought it was close. It was inward. It was not an away movement. Let's look at it again. Now he's advancing down the track. Look at that inward movement. It pitches and then seemed to be going a little further. Did it have sufficient to go down the leg side? You may never know.
And we don't have that luxury, which we'll have to talk to Oliver with getting those follow through. And see the track of the delivery and the way it's going.
Well, that was good enough for me, really. Lovely. Here he is once more. Is Pollard Ada one bowls to Francis. He doesn't bowl. So, the next Francis.
Very small guy.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think he's going to turn out to be a 5'11" person. Is Francis. maybe at the end of his growing career, he probably is going to get up to about 5'8". Here's a delivery that is coming forward. He's coming forward, looking to push that out on the offside. There was a beautiful cut behind. And Sergeant is saying, hey, he must have gotten a nick onto that one. The umpire is as constant as the northern side. He's adamant that he did not touch it. The over comes to an end, and the Leewards, they're in real trouble here. After some 5 overs gone, they're 13 for 3.
Well, good, very, very good bowling by the 2 opening bowlers on the from Barbados. Question here now probably is the continuation, because they're about to come to the end of their spell. But they are both excellent. They have picked up wickets. They have kept the runs down. And as we said, the conditions really suited them, and you can see they swinging the ball, which is always a pleasure to see at especially at that age. And so Barbados right in the game, if not probably slightly ahead now.
Yeah. So Pollard has bowled well. They've got a change of bowling from the far end, and Jaden Chase is going to bowl. So Chase replacing Gittins from the southern or River Road end, and he's going to be bowling to Saunders. Now, where this match goes, I think a lot would depend on that Saunders out there. I mean, if we're talking, if the Windwards are in, the Leewards rather are in for a slender chance. Chase to Saunders, outside the arse stump, off the back foot, hits it hard.
He dropped.
Did carry, did it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, he's upset with himself and has reason to be upset too. Could get the replay of that, would be nice.
I think it's that area attempted to make the comment about it. There seems to be
Yeah, it would have been a good
catch. Yeah. And he seems to be walking in there at a pretty good hot pace.
Saunders to this delivery is off the back foot, hits that down to the deep cover position. They've gone for 1, we'll come back for the second. The return comes into the keeper's end. Saunders gets back in time. He gets 2. Short delivery onto the back foot, hit it down to the sweeper position. It's gone to 13, so he scored 13 of the 15 runs scored so far. So the run rate required, that is, has gone up now to 6.10. Can't afford to let that climb higher. Chase moves into Saunders. Saunders is looking to tug that delivery outside the arse stump, to tug it from outside the arse stump to the leg side. Doesn't make contact. Sergeant collects behind the stumps.
I think if he's going to bowl short, they will need a little bit more protection on the offside.
Yeah, you're right. Saunders is 13. Here once more is Chase in bowls. Saunders is off the back foot and hits the ball down to the deep mid-wicket position and gets a single. So he pulls well and can also cut the ball well too.
He's a cyber sort of stand up and deliver batsman. He's not he pulls and cuts and drive. He doesn't chip down the wicket or so. He's that sort of stand up there and really put bat to ball.
And he's a big man. He is a big man. So he has strength in those shoulders. Here is a delivery that is.
Well.
He didn't take the single, did he? What's going on with Saunders?
I think he was watching the umpire to see if he was giving the batsman out.
And Francis was not happy at all.
He was more concerned about the umpire's decision than the run, and nearly caused a wicket by the run-out route.
Oh, interesting. Well, he goes back, is Chase, and he's moving again to bowl to Francis. Here he is now, passing the umpire, bowls to Francis. Francis is coming forward and drives neatly out to extra cover, but can't score. He's a small man, so don't expect any big hits from him. The over comes to an end. 6 overs gone. 16 for 3.
He played that last ball pretty comfortable. Again, we keep talking about his size. He's probably one of the smaller guys in the tournament with many small guys. And but Barbados really into it now. 16 for 3. They have pulled themselves back. The two opening bowlers were excellent. I think from the bowlers to continue, it will be very, very crucial if they could maintain and keep the pressure on the Leeward Island batsmen.
Yes, that would be so very important for them. But they certainly are in the ascendancy here. No question about it. So, Bayer is brought into the attack. And he's going to be getting ready to bowl to Saunders.
Spinner.
So here he is. Quick little Bayer. Just a slip in, backward point and short extra cover. Long off and long on, extended. Right on the boundary. Buys in, bowls. Delivery that is onto the leg stump, looking to turn that out to mid wicket. Ball may have just cannoned into the pad, and Sargent, the keeper, very quickly and alert as a monkey, sprinted after it, prevented a single. Quick little bar is in, bowl flatter, shorter, turned up behind square on the leg side again. No run resulting, so he's gonna be probably a little flat in the air and not going to tantalize for the big hit, but he does have some coverage. Maybe now and again he can toss it up. He's there now, and Bo Saunders is bowled him. Oh, he's bowled him. He's gone. That was the arm ball. Pass run all down to the deep extra cover boundary in great celebration. They've all scurried after him to celebrate. And so the big fish has gone. Saunders comprehensively bowled. Was he bowled or was it like before?
I didn't. I find it.
No, let's look at it again, please. He's coming forward, hits him on the back foot, and then was the celebration. So the umpire did say that was out.
But they were celebrating a long time.
The umpire had said that out. So that's why we thought the ball had sneaked through.
Yeah.
So it's leg before. Saunders leg before to Chrysler Bar for 14 at the Leeward Islands.
Yeah, I think definitely there's a big chance of him getting leg before. It pitched just about middle, it went straight through. And he played and missed, but the celebration was long before the umpire gave that dreaded finger, and one would have thought it was bowl.
Yes, so quick club by picked up a wicket,
and a big wicket too.
Yes,
they won.
Richards, now the new batsman, pushes the ball out to extra cover. Drove it nicely too. 16 for 4. Both batsmen, Richards and Francis, yet to score.
And two small guys, so you wouldn't expect a big hitting from these guys. You could really put some pressure on them by keeping the field in.
Buys in and bowls to Richard, who to this delivery is coming forward and strokes the ball nicely out to extra cover, but can't score. And they've really piled the pressure on here. That's Barbados. Here's a delivery that is pushed through the offside. They might just get one here. They're going to come back for the second. The return comes into the non-strikers and they get 2.
That's good running from the two pretty small guys and able to take 2 runs. That's good running. But they will need to do something because they are falling behind the 8 ball. They are 18 for 4. The big batters have already gone back to the pavilion. And with Barbados really on top, they will have to start to create some run scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I thought that last delivery there that was struck down to the sweeper position. Pollard probably thought that they would not go back for the second run. They did. And in the end, they got it rather comfortably, 18 for 4. So 7 overs gone, as it's going to be turned up on the onside there by Francis. Jaden Chase from the far end. Let's look at the approach of the Barbadian fast bowlers. For one, they got longish approach, and they do look good coming in. They're not all over the place. He moves in once more to bowl to Francis. Francis is hitting that back along the track for the bowler to pick up on his follow through, and there is no run. So Francis is yet to score. Richards too. It's 16 for 4, Leeward Islands on the 15.
I wonder what's Francis' height.
I would make it about 5'3", 5'2", thereabout. A delivery that is down the leg side, not kept well by the keeper, Sergeant, and is going to be pulled back inside. Well done there by the Pollard, the fast bowler, coming across there, using his boot. Bit of football skill there. Ali would be very happy about that. Former Grenada national football coach will be happy with that. From the context that he cut it off. But again, if his feet had gone onto the ball, then he can twist his ankle. Here once more, a delivery that is driven through the offside. Runs here. Are they going to come back for the second? Yes, they would. They get 2. So 2 more there to Francis. Well, he's off the mark. He's gone to 2. Total has moved on to 23 for 4. Hit that well. Got to the pitch of it.
And they'll have probably to be careful with Francis based on that shot, because they are closing in on him pretty close to the wicket, and he showed the ability that he can hit over the head.
Chase to bowl to Francis, who is taking that and hitting that down to the third man area, and it's not taken, but they get a single. I think Sergeant is applauding the effort of the fielder there down at third man. That's Bayer who spilled it, and they got the opportunity to get a single. It was a short rising delivery.
Well, I thought he came in rather quickly and didn't really get proper footing to stop, so he actually slipped and was taking the ball whilst he was going down and couldn't hold on. But again, you see Francis playing shots.
Chase to Richards. Richards is slightly jammed by a delivery that maybe came on to him a little quicker than anticipated. Pushed it back along the track for the bowler to pick up on his follow through, and there is no run. So Richards 2, Francis 3, 24 for 4. They need to score at just under 7 runs per over to get over the winning line, as it's once more Chase now most to Richards. Richards is off the back foot, looking to push the ball behind square on the offside. Doesn't make contact. Sergeant collects behind the stumps. So the over comes to an end with 3 to Francis. Richards 2, 24 for 4, 24 for 4, and 8 overs gone.
Yeah, 24 for 4. I think Barbados will be feeling pretty happy now. One was a bit, talked a lot about the fact that the amount of runs they made with wickets in hand, but they have come out with their bowling and bowled pretty well. The 2 opening bowlers bowling extremely well, picking up wickets, and then the spinner coming now and picking up one in his first. So Barbados in a good position, but of course, as the batting, the Leeward Islands has shown that they have good batting ability, and they like to exhibit it now.
Eyes in, driven up to mid-off, and they go to for a single. So 1 more to the total. It's now gone to 24.
Francis has been playing some neat little shots, and he seems a good little batter.
Here's a delivery, and he is tugging that just in front of square on the leg side, and there is no run. So Richards 2, Francis 3, Here he is once more. Is Cricklow Bar would move in, slip his position there now, and he is there. And Bowles to this delivery is wrapped him on the pad, I think. Maybe going behind him, no harm done. He's playing deep onto the back foot. Is Francis. Here is a delivery once more that is looking to hit that through the offside. It's an appeal for stump by Sargent, pointing to the umpire as if to say, hey, so how's that? No harm done. The umpire said, that's not out. He's planted in his crease.
Francis looked unconcerned about the appeal.
So all is well.
I think Barbados is now excited. They're taking a good position in the game.
Here's a delivery that is driven out to cover with no great conviction. Ball going all along the ground and bunks in merrily out there to Wiggins, I think. The catch is going to be taken, gone. Well, maybe you would say just a matter of time, as Dixon, I believe, is the person who may have taken the catch. We'll have that confirmed. So the Leewards, they've lost another wicket. Another one goes. So Francis goes, caught by Dixon. Of the bowling of Crystal Bar, he's gone for 3. And the Leeward Islands, they're perilously in trouble now. They're 24 for 5, and some 9 overs gone.
Well, Francis trying, not sure if he's trying to hit the ball over the top, because he's as we said, he's a pretty small guy, and he looked sort of very upset with himself with his shot he played. Wonder if he was thinking that he could have cleared the boundary.
Well, I think the Leeward Islands bowlers, they have a right to be upset. If you restrict Barbados to 74 of their 15, I think they could say that they've done their job very well. And the batsmen were the ones now responsible to come and bring them over the boundary line. They haven't. So, rather easy dismissal there.
Yeah. I mean, they need to get themselves, they need to score runs, but they need to get themselves in. It can't just come from the start playing shots. You need to see what the bowlers are doing. Give yourself a couple of deliveries. I think the Barbadian, you must give them credit, have been bowling extremely well. The pace bowlers set the game in motion by picking up all the wickets, and now the spinner coming and continuing and picking up wickets.
So 25 for 5, Richards. Francis rather, Amari Jones, the new batsman. So here is a delivery outside the off stump. That's going to be signaled wide by the umpire. Justin Parrish brought into the attack. Jones looking to slash that, but that was too wide. Paris, moves in and bowls to Jones. Jones is giving himself room outside the leg stump. Does not cue it that well. Whether he's gotten a nick onto that one, we'll have to wait and see. They come back for the second run, as the umpire would suggest. That's buys. So Sargent didn't do very well behind the stumps there. He leaked 2. 28 for 5. Jones is yet to score. Francis is on 4. As once more, it's Paris in, bowls outside the leg stump and hit down to the long on area. So Jones gets off the mark. He's on 1, and the total has moved on now to 29 for 5. Field changing over to accommodate the diminutive Tanix Francis. He was on 4. There's no question as if he likes cricket. As to whether he likes cricket, he certainly does. That's Francis. Here is a delivery that is bringing him forward. Is Francis and pushes the ball behind square on the offside, but can't score. Still 29 for 5. Paris into his first over, 2 runs already. This is his 4th delivery coming up. He's going to move in now to bowl to Francis. He's passing the umpire after skipping and hopping. He's there and bowls. And a reverse effort. There's an appeal for leg before. Not out, says the umpire. Well, looking to be very cheeky there, Francis. Reverse sweep attempt. Wonder how far he would get it though. There's a fielder at square leg. Paris again to bowl to Francis. Just a slip in, backward point, cover halfway there, extra cover to mid-off. He bowls and Francis is off the back foot. Opens the face of the bat, glides it down to third man. They've hustled for one. They're going to come back for the second. The return comes in. They've got to hurry. They've got to hurry. And the umpire said no. The diminutive figure of Francis just getting home. But it was a close call. It was close. Just managed to get there. So he got 2. But it was a dangerous second run. Now let's look at it. The ball is collected. And that's all we're gonna say here. Here's a delivery that brings the right-handed Francis forward, pushes it back along the track. The over comes to an end, and at the end of 10 overs, Leewards are 31 for 5.
Well, what can I say? I wonder if sometimes the umpires are not staying too far from the crease. You know, we have seen a couple of these very close calls, they should say, where they run out. But excellent show, good keeping. The 2 batsmen at least trying to rotate the strike and to get runs. 31 for 5, not a position they would like to find themselves in, but they are. And you continue to give the Barbadian bowlers credit. We talk about the runs, the batting, but they have come back out and really, stamped their authority on the game.
So here once more is Bar in and bowls and hits that out to the deep mid wicket area. That's Jones gets a single. He is now moved on by 1 to 2, and the total has gone to 32 for 5. Yeah, I love to see the old-fashioned way the umpires did it in the past. In the past, when it's tight like that, you could see them crouching. They're going down and they're taking a look from square on. Here's a delivery. Francis is down the track and hits that through the extra cover area. He's going to get 2 runs here. Good use of the feet. And hit it over the infield. He got 2. Enterprising shot there by Francis. He's gone to 8, 34 for 5. He advanced on the track. He did very well. Now he is not a big hitter, but he can be very effective. Down the track again. Drives the ball behind square on the offside and belatedly going for the single. This time he's run out. This time he's run out a little bit on the late side, and Jones trying to scurry home, didn't get there. The throw came in. Sargent took the bail off, and so the Leewards, they've lost another wicket. Amari Jones run out there for 2. It's 34 now for 5.
6.
That's Richards, beg your pardon. Oh, let's get right. Sorry, Jones. Was it Jones that got run out?
Yes, Francis is the diminutive one. He's still there.
So he's still there. It's Jones that got run out.
He played the ball.
That's
and
correct.
The non-strike. It didn't look as if he was running initially, and then he started. I think he caught the non-striker, but you can see that he was aware that he was out of his crease. He didn't even look at the umpire, and he started his journey back. So
whoa.
more trouble for the Leeward Islands. in desperate times here for them, 34 for 6. And I think after restricting Barbados to 73 in the 15 overs, they would have thought they had a great opportunity to win this match. However, their batting has been extremely poor.
Like Brown comes in, replaces Amari Jones, and he's going to be facing up to the bowling of Barr. In now, and bowls to Brown, who comes forward and pushes the ball out on the outside. 34 for 6. Barr into Brown. He is onto the front foot, gets a faster one, pushes it back along the track. there's Barr staring down at Brown as if to say, hey, you can't handle me. Is a delivery faster, flatter. There's a little stifled appeal, the ball slanting down the leg side, and that completes the over. So some 11 overs gone, 3 remaining, 34 for 6, and if the Leewards going to overhaul this total, they've got to score at 10 runs per over to get there.
But the other teams have had difficulty scoring at 5 and 6 runs or over. I think 10 is really stretching it. And the size of the players that are in now, they're pretty small guys. Don't expect to be seeing 6 and 4s hit regularly. So I think Barbados are really in control of the game. The spinners have come on, taken over after the pace bowlers has really set the pace, created a real problem for the Leeward Island batsmen, and now the spinners are backing them up well, and wickets continue to fall.
So it's going to be Paris moving in to bowl to Francis. Here he is, bowls, and Francis is advancing down the track, and the ball hit down to short third man. The fielder coming in very quickly, tried to turn it into a catch, didn't, and the batsman had the time to cross for 2. So 2 more to Francis, who's now gone into double figures, and the total has moved on to 36 for 6. Here once more is Paris to bowl to Francis. He's a pretty bold cricketer, is Francis. Got a good heart, big heart, looking to sweep that well down to backward square. They're gonna come back for the second. They need to. They do come, and just manages to get there. Just wondered why that Brown seemed to be hesitant to go for the second run. It was always there.
I think Francis is toying the fielders a bit.
Yes.
Bring them in, he plays over the head, and they stay deep, he plays in front. He's having a nice little innings here.
Yes, I like it. Nice little cameo, if you want to call it that. 38 for 6, as it's Paris moving in again to bowl to Francis, who to this delivery is coming forward, pushes the ball in front of him to a short extra cover, picked up there seemingly by Wiggins, and there is no run. Total remains on 38 for 6. Here again is Paris to Francis, little hop and a skip, and down the track he comes and lives that. Somebody's going under it. Will the catch be taken? No. Will they come back for the second run? They're not going for the second run, and it dropped just before maybe both fielders going after the ball to take the catch. It was airborne, and neither of them was able to get there. And meanwhile, the batsman crossed for 1. Francis gone to 13. Brown, who's yet to score, now comes into strike, takes a guard, which might be a middle stump guard, and it's going to be Paris once more into his second over. 1.4 overs, none for 9, moves in, hops and moves in now and bowls to this delivery, coming forward onto the leg stump as Sargent pulls the right glove off very quickly, just in case the batsman thought about going for a single. The ball taking the pad and going out on the outside. Good alertness of mind there by the keeper and Sargent. Here once more is Paris, the ball to Brown. Brown is in defence, bat and pad close together. can do no more than push it back along the track. For the bowler to pick up on his follow through. So that completes the over. 13 to Francis, who will be taking strike. The Leewards 39 for 6. 13 overs gone. They've got 3 remaining.
Yeah, it's still 35 runs in 3 overs. That will be asking there a lot of these 2 young batsmen. You can see Francis is trying. He's coming down the wicket. He's toying with the field. He's playing it over the head, but really he's not getting close to the boundaries with the shots. And I think at this stage boundaries will be needed to overhaul the Barbados score. Remember, Barbados getting 73 without loss, and one was a bit concerned the fact that they could have probably looked to get a 30 or so more runs, the fact that they wasn't losing wickets. But they have come out here with a bowling attack and bowl extremely well, really pinning back the Leeward Islands. And Leeward Islands now is a team that found themselves in deep waters.
Yeah, really deep. They're right in the ocean, and don't see any reason why they won't be drowned. 39 for 6. The required run rate 11.67. You need somebody like a Viv Richards and Clive Lloyd combination to take you out of that. I don't think they're anywhere close to that sort of ability. So it's going to be Lovell moving in to bowl to Francis. Here he is, and Francis is off the back foot, strokes the ball just behind square on the offside, gets a single. Trinidad and Tobago against Guyana coming up after this game. Lovell once more will move in to bowl to Francis. I like Francis. I really like him. Seem to enjoy his game. He's there now. Left arm orthodox. Reverse sweep. Gets it behind square. Nice shot that. It probably will go very close to the boundary. Yes, pull back just inside. They come back for the second. I just said a little while ago how I like him. He's enterprising. He's a bold young man. He's got good big heart for a diminutive player. He's now gone on to 15. Total has gone now to 41 for 6.
That was a reverse swing.
It was. Here once more is Lovell in now and bowls to Francis. Francis makes room outside the leg stump and swings that nicely down to backward square. I think it's got sufficient leg. Will it go over the boundary line? Yes, it does. Oh, that's 4 runs. I like that. Got inside the line after all, and then pulled it, tugged it down to backward square, and the little man walks back as though he's a great champion. 4 runs. He's got to 19. Is 45 for 6.
Well, I think I keep saying I like his style. He's playing with the fielders. They come in, he hits them over the head. They drop back, he plays, and I say very sensible batting.
Yes, I like him. I really do. Lovell once more. Left arm orthodox. Round the wicket, he's got a third man, backward point, cover, which is going to be pushed out deeper. Then there is a short extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, both in the circles, and there is a mid-wicket. Lovell is in, bowls to Francis, outside the off stump. He's onto the back foot, steers the ball down to third man. Wiggins comes in, sends the ball to the non-striker's end. The batsman had time to cross for 1. So 1 more to Francis. Nice enterprising innings. He's now gone on to 20, and the total is pushed on now to 46 for 6. We're in over. Number 13 bowled by Rafael Lovell. He is in and bowls outside the off stump, making room. That's Brown. Hits the ball just behind square on the offside, but can't score. So he's yet to score. 46 for 6. Lovell once more to bowl to Brown. There he is. Now passing the umpire and bowls, and Brown gets a short delivery outside the off stump that he slaps out to cover. I don't think they're going to come back for the second. No. Pollard sends the return to the keeper, who doesn't really collect cleanly, but no harm is done. So that completes the over. 13 overs gone. Is that 13 overs gone? Yes, that's right. 2 overs remaining. 47 for 6. Brown is 1 and Francis 20.
Yeah, I think still no worry by the Barbadian. It was not the best of overs in relation to what the other bowlers have bowled, but again you have to give Francis a lot of credit for his batting ability. He's trying different things. He has been succeeding. In fact, he has top scored for the Leeward Islands. He's on 20, and a good batting performance from him. As we said, like a sort of tiny-made guy, but playing very sensible cricket.
Yeah, he has played rather sensible. That's good. And that's what you want to see. Cricketers who would not allow their physical stature to impede them, nor stand in the way, and whatever height or lack of it thereof that God has given you, you need to use it, maximize it in whatever you're doing. So here is that Wiggins from the far end, no bowler, and would be moving in to bowl to Brown. Delivery that is swept down to backward square, and that's gone for 4. Bad delivery outside the leg stump, and he just swung it around rather easily. 4 runs, delightful boundary, welcome 1-2, and so the fifth, no, it's 40, is it 47? Just wait, no, I think the 50 has been posted. Yeah, that's right, 50 has been posted. So a landmark, not that it's really significant. 51, no, that's right. It's Darlington that has taken up the bowling from the far end. Sorry for the erroneous information I gave a while ago. There will be a backward square put in now as Darlington. Antoine Darlington bowls. He is looking to give himself room and stroke that through the offside. That's Brown, does not make contact. Total 51 for 6. Darlington again in, bowls to Brown. Brown is, ooh, I think he's got him stumped.
Yes, he is.
Brilliant work by Sargent behind the stumps. Just came down the track slightly, and it was a tantalizing, nicely floated delivery, and he was looking to hit that maybe over the bowler's head and missed everything, and the keeper did the rest behind the stumps. So Brown has gone for 5. Stump. And let's look at it there. He was good work. Really nice work there by Sargent. I love that. And when he took it off, he ran down very quickly to congratulate the bowler, knowing that he had done his job. So 51 for 7. That's the Leeward Islands. Continue to fall away. We're in over number 14, so just 1.3 overs remaining. Still get another opportunity to see the replay. That's the one after. Sorry,
That's the previous
one.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon. So, really miserable batting performance by the Leeward Islands.
Yeah, I think before today they were looking as one of the top teams that, in terms of preparation and the style of batting, the bowling, but they really fall away badly today in their batting performance.
They really have. Well, that's the game of cricket. Here's a delivery that is hit in the air. It's going to fall in no man's land, and he gets a single. Jason Edwards. So he's off the mark. It's gone to 1. 52 now for 7. Brings the enterprising Tenex Francis into strike. He's on 20. Darlington to bowl to Francis. Flatter comes forward. Ball takes the outer portion of the bat. Goes down to third man. Gets a comfortable single as Barr comes off the edge of the circle. And one more to his total. It's gone to 21. That's Francis, as it now brings Edwards back into strike, who's on 1. Here's Darlington, bowls Edwards off the back foot, slaps the ball out to extra cover, and they will in fact go through for the single. Bad miss at extra cover there, and allow the batsman to cross for a single. So that completes the over. 14 overs gone, just a one remaining, and the Leeward Islands really can say that they've really messed this up. They had a brilliant opportunity after the bowlers did so very well to win this match, but they've fallen very short. The batting has let them down. They're 54 for 7 or 14.
Yeah, last over, and it will be a very humongous task for them to get to that score, 73, and very poor batting display from they never seem to really to get into it today. But you must give a lot of credit to the Barbadian bowlers, particularly the two opening bowlers. They really set the tempo. They bowl extremely well, put the Leeward Islands under a lot of pressure, good deliveries, good atmosphere for swing bowling. They did get the ball to swing, and was very effective, set the tempo. The Leeward Islands never recovered, and so in the final over, they need some 20 runs to get for victory.
20 of 1? Ali, you never betted in your life, did you?
Secretly.
Here is a delivery by Gittins post to Edwards, who comes forward and gets a single Yorker-like delivery that he tried to hit through the outside. That succeeded in doing that, but got one. So the total has gone to 54 for 7. Sorry, I just cracked up a little bit as Ali just confirmed that he has betted already in life, but secretly. Edward facing up now to Gittins. Gittins comes in now, moves in rather, and bowls. And to this delivery outside the off stump, having a big swing at that one is Francis, doesn't make contact. Total remains on 55 for 7. The other thing is, I think Francis would like to come out not out. He wouldn't want 2 deliveries to go on, and he's dismissed.
But he's still trying, and seems to be the nature of him. But a lot of batsmen in that situation would just try to play it out. Not too sure he can hit sixes, and that is what probably will be needed at this stage.
Gittins to bowl to Francis. Francis is looking for the dill scoop. Went inside. These youngsters are practicing all of those newly developed shots in the game.
Well, Francis has surely done all in this innings. He has back reverse sweep, he has scoop, he has done all, every one of them. But he has played a nice little inning.
Yeah, if we had done that back in our times, the headmaster would have called us, put us over the bench and benched us. Here he is now moving in and bowls to Francis. Francis is hitting that out square. They'll get on the outside. We'll get a single. Rather comfortable 1-2. He's now gone on to 22. And the total has moved on now to 56 for 7. Brings Edward, who is 3, into strike. So just 2 legal deliveries remaining. As Barbados can feel very happy for what was a modest total. It's made it very difficult for victory here for the Leeward Islands. Gittins in bowls, and he's bowled him, making room outside the leg stump, Edwards, and Yorker-like delivery, and the off stump push back. Maybe he did get a little bottom edge onto that one, we're not sure. He's looking at it. No, hey, listen, the bat is not the issue, please don't look at it. So let's look at it on the replay. Did he get a nick onto it? Let's see it now. Must have maybe get just a little.
Well, a good Yorker.
It was a great Yorker.
Yeah.
And he looked at his bat as if the bat was the issue. Tell you what, the bat was no issue. It was a brilliant Yorker, right up in the block hole. Well bowled there by Gittins, and he's picked up his 2nd wicket. He's got 2 for 8. Just 1 legal delivery remaining, and Pear comes out. Anthony Pear, he's going to be facing the last delivery. It's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do with that one. 56 for 8, the Leeward Islands total. And so Barbados will win this one.
Well, I would just ensure that I kept my wicket intact. And no way you're going to win off 1 delivery. So,
I agree.
Yeah, just make sure you get some bat on the ball. And
so here is Gittins moving in now to bowl to Pear. And Pear having a big swing at that one. The ball goes down to third man. He gets a single. That's all there be. So the Leewards, they have won this. Sorry, they've lost this match. It's Barbados setting a victory target of 74. 57, the Leewards replied for 8. And the Barbadians are indeed happy.
Well, they need to be. I think a good, very, very good performance. At one stage, halfway in the game, we thought that the Leeward Island had the advantage. They came out very spirited. The pace bowlers bowled extremely well. Good atmosphere. They have cloud covering. They were able to swing the ball. But swinging the ball is one. They needed to be on line and link, and they did that. And then the spinners came on and took some wickets. Maybe a few runs scored off them, but at that time the run rate was pretty high, and they were able to not dismiss but win the match, picking up some 8 wickets, and really and truly one of the better performances we have seen in the tournament.
So the top scorer being Francis, not out at 22. Saunders chipped in with 14 of 22 balls, and the Leewards could only muster 57. Just to let you know that there were 2 for 7 by Pollard, bowled very well, the opening pair. Giddens had 2 for 9. Both bowlers bowled very well indeed. There's another 2-wicket haul for Bai, got 2 for 6 of 3, bowled very well. And Antoine Darlington picked up 1 for 7. So that's the situation here. The Barbados team winning this first encounter here. They defeated the Leeward Islands by 26 runs, and we've got our second match coming up where Trinidad and Tobago will be locked in battle against Guyana, and we'll be on hand to bring you the commentary.